life be? I'd be like drifting around in a canoe with no paddle until you came along.
No
You give me direction. Good evening, everybody. Mark Weaver in the booth at CR Sportsbar for a Monday night match of our Scotch doubles event. And apologize for the late delay. Had a player getting a little bit late here. But we are going live here. Race to 11. BCA rules. Jamie Pluta and Matt Bussard against Tim Tunjum and Eric McClellan. Tim and Eric are Team Blue. Upper right corner of your screen. Upper left is the time culprit, Jamie Pluta. And racking right now is Matt. So we are live again Monday night here, CR Sports Bar, Coon Rapids, Minnesota, the mecca of pool in the upper Midwest. I have heard rumors, it's not confirmed, because you can't believe everything you hear and you believe about half of what you see, but I have been told that Mr. Jerry Johnson will be joining us here in just a short bit of time. I think he's due back, so that'll be nice having somebody in the booth with me. I know Mr. Dave Eckert is in the house and has volunteered to be my verbal punching bag for a couple of hours until Jerry gets here. But
Should be here soon.
did you hear me? His head spun around like on a swivel. He's at that counter enjoying some candy right now. But anyways, to the match we go. Tim Tunjum at the table. Both these guys actually do table service and have for a number of years, Mr. Tim Tunjum and then also Jamie Pluta. So BCA rules on the break again. You can take ball in hand anywhere on the table. You're not constricted by the kitchen string line. You can go anywhere, which is, I think, the better way to play. Starting out with solids here. Ooh, he tried to rattle that one almost. Tim was out in Vegas recently. I know a team I was on has actually played them out there in Vegas for the team event. And Tim treated that pocket like a valley pocket. I'm sure he will adjust pretty quick, though. But it was a lot of fun out there. It's kind of ironic how you go, several states away to play in the tournament. It happens a lot. Pool players know this. You can go several states away or across the river and travel a few hours for a tournament and then get drawn with the person you rode with, or, get drawn and have to play people that you play all the time. So, but I guess that's what happens when the cream rises to the top, so to speak. Those guys play some incredible pool on that team. We were fortunate to get past them. But it looks like Tim and Eric are going to make pretty quick work of this rack here. The only real ball of concern for me, which isn't a big one, but is that 3 ball up there that the cue ball is sitting on. You're going to have to get up to the second diamond. You don't want to get to where you run into the 10 ball. You want to be able to come the other direction with the cue ball. So that would do it from here. You could hit some left and come around and get over on the 7 or the 6, but I think Eric's going to end up shooting the 6, and they'll use the 7 to roll over to the right side of the table and then get on the 3. Use the 3 to get on the 8. You don't want to come up short on this one. And in my opinion, too, there's not that big of a window. See, now he's going to end up with the cue ball up, with an angle where you're going to almost bring in the 10 ball into play. The thing that would concern me with the 10 ball coming into play in any way is that if you run into that, it's going to deflect the cue ball over to the left, and you're probably not going to get down table for the 8 ball. I think Tim's going to have to put a little bit of inside and actually not only go over to the right side rail, but spin up just a hair. That should work right there.
It's pretty straight.
It is pretty straight, yeah.
Oh no, you can.
Yeah, he wants to be. He'd be better off being a little bit up table on your screen, and on the other side of the line. I'd rather be there than the cue ball in the middle of the table, though. I think at least he can go to the upper rail. If he knows this shot, go to the upper rail with stun it with some follow, a little bit above center, and force the cue ball up to the upper rail, and then to the left of the 9 ball back down here for the 8 ball. Looks like he's going to try and power draw back. And that'll work too. Hold up. Oh, no.
my God.
And I believe that he is hooked by the point. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's very fortunate he didn't scratch in there.
It's the same thing. Kind of.
Man, oh man, what a tough break on that ball. Holy cow.
Wow.
There you go, Tim. Looks like he's going to have to do a little bit of a masse on this. Now, Stripes does have a little bit of work over there on the right side of the table, but if you get a good angle on that 11 or on the 12, it's makes it a little bit simpler. Actually, the 15. See if Tim can make this 8, though. And did not make it, but it was a pretty good attempt. It's not an easy shot. But, and being so close to the point right there was just gave him really zero options. Yeah, caught it right on the lip of the side pocket. Got Steve Johnson up here talking with Talon, being explained about what had happened on that shot, because it looked like Eric was going to successfully draw back off the side rail and at least give him a look on that ball. Man, what a tough break. Those are the ones that keep you up at night sometimes.
It was pretty much straight in.
I was wondering why the pool guys just don't like you sometimes, you know. I almost, in that situation, I would say that if I'm shooting, I almost would have rather scratched. I mean, I'm still in the game right now, but I almost would have rather just scratched, because hooking my partner behind the point of the pocket like that, I just have this game. But you never give up, right? So again, this isn't like walk in the park either. They had to get a good angle on that ball, the 15, which if you get on the 15, you can go cross table over to the left side. We'll come back for the 11 or the 12. I like getting on the 11 first myself. Yep. Just go into the upper end rail and come down around the spot. A little bit above the spot would be ideal, or straight into the 11's fine. Should be able to get there from this ball. Oh, not that soft, though. And it came up too light to even get the 15. So now if Jamie is going to try to make this ball, he's going to have to shoot a combo. 11-15 combo, and maybe the cue ball will come back out in the middle. Nope, he's going to play safety. Roll the cue ball up on top of the 12. And he could have played that ball. He could have called that. And still played it the same way. You see, he was a little bit disappointed on that it went, but it doesn't hurt to call it, because if it goes in, you're out. It's one of those situations where you don't mind making the ball, and then yeah, you could get stuck in the 12 too. But from over stuck in that 12, you can just kind of roll into the rail and kind of tuck the cue ball. You're almost guaranteed at least you're going to get a good safety if that ball does fall. But I think that was kind of tactical, kind of a mistake. You got to give it a chance to go. And this isn't really easy to get a good safe here either. If he can roll into the 11, just bump it over to the right side rail, cue ball just drift up towards the side pocket, and the 11 come back out and get in between the cue ball and the 8 ball. Pretty tough to get that speed right on this one, though, because I think the cue ball, to pull that shot off, I think the cue ball will release up table quite a bit. You gotta be careful you don't leave a bank and then tie up your balls over here. Oh, he did. He hit that one good, though. Wow. Very nice. He hit the exact shot I was talking about. That cue ball didn't go as far as I thought. He hit that thing good. Man, oh man, that one's worth saving right there. Click record on your stream or whatever you're doing, because that safety right there, that was really good. I thought for sure that cue ball would drift up further up table off that.
I think Eric should have kicked at that 8 when he had the 11-12 still locked up. He had a free kick at that 8 in the corner.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. Dave was just saying that when Eric had that shot and played his safety on the 8, that 11-12 was tied up, and he could have actually kicked that ball and kind of had a free kick at it. That's a valid point. And he got a hit.
Oh, he hit it. I mean, he got, well, kind of what?
And now Mr. Pluta will figure out how to play safety back. And either make Eric have to kick at this ball or, at the very worst, at least bank it. But I could see Jamie rubbing this 11 into the 12 and then having the cue ball float up table again. Or maybe he's going to hit a stop shot and just kind of try to lay onto the 8-ball with the cue ball just like that. Good shot. Very nice. And if we have a referee on site, now is the time to take your jacket off and show your stripes, because I believe you might get called. I don't know if Eric will try to bank this ball, but I don't think it goes on the bank legally. He might. Yeah, I don't think he can make that ball bank by banking it. Doesn't look lined up. The cue ball's so close to the 8-ball that it's not, doesn't have enough of an angle to actually throw it off there. So he's going to try to tick it just the edge of it and then run the cue ball up off the bottom rail, and then nope, just yeah. He was trying to get up behind the 8. Just kind of tick the cue ball, the 8-ball like that, come off the bottom rail, and then go up underneath the 8-ball with the cue ball. Team Jamie and Matt here still have a tremendous advantage though, because they can use this 11 ball and just float the cue ball up table, and then Tim and Eric still have to hit the 8-ball. I would try to move this up table and then back down table so I can use it to break the 12 ball out if I get ball in hand, or get it in the area of the 12-8 somehow so that I can use it. The very worst thing I would do is make this ball. Four rail it. Yeah, that'd get it back down table, and I don't want my opponent to make it for me either, because that 12 isn't really in a good spot right now. So if I can get fortunate to where I can get this back down and play and leave it in an area where they can't necessarily make it real easily, that would be ideal. Because if I'm Tim right now, I'm shooting that 11 ball. I'm going to make that ball and let them work with ball in hand on the 12.
I think they got room enough to put it in between there and shoot.
Does it? Taylor thinks it goes up table.
Oh my God!
Oh, look at this shot. Jamie's looking to see it. He might be hooked. Wow, what a shot! Jeez. Man, oh man. I think if Jamie addresses this ball, that means he can see it. Yep. That was close, though. Good shot, too. Good speed in that cue ball. Good cue ball there. I want to thank D-Hand Garage Doors, main sponsor for this tournament, for sponsoring. Thank you, Billy Bob, Mr. Brent D-Hand, for all your garage door needs. And another shout out to all the regular sponsors as well that have been with the stream for a couple years now. Ooh, that one almost went outside off that point. So Jamie and Matt will pick up this first game here. 1-0, race to 11. Very early in the night. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is, again, Mark Weaver in the booth on the stream at CR Sportsbar, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Please hit the subscribe button and like button on the YouTube browser. We appreciate it. And that will keep you in touch with updates as far as future matches and events. And look for Jerry Johnson and also CR Sports Bar on Facebook. Follow both of those pages. And you'll see postings for more matches. I do believe there is 2 matches, I want to say, on Friday. There'll be one on the 21st as well that I tentatively were told that we're scheduled. So, but we are early on here tonight. Again, race to 11, BCA rules. And Matt Boostert at the table breaking up 1-0. Puts the 1 ball on. This is a head ball. Somebody had told me, and I don't know where I picked it up from, but it's got to be a reputable source, right? But that the 5 ball on the Blue Simonis is the ball that our eyes can that stand out the most on the blue, the 5 in the most contrast. So as far as like in a rack of 8 ball or something, putting the 5 on the top can often make it easier to focus on that head ball. And I think I picked it up on one of the Facebook groups for pool or something. Somebody had posted a link or an article or something about it. But I mentioned before, and not on these balls because they're new. It looks like Tim's going to start out with solids here. That's a good shot. Do have the 8 ball to kind of worry about. A few different ways they can move that though. But as I've mentioned before in some streams, in older places where you have older pool balls or balls that have been mixed and matched with different sets, so with the new set of balls, then what they do is they with the older set of balls and mix and match, sometimes you get a 1 ball or balls that are beaten up than other balls. And do this back cut on the 7 here. Good shot. The 8 still needs to, I think, get opened up off that 15 though, but Tim's got a good look at the 1 ball. And as I was stating, is that some of the older venues or venues with older sets of balls or balls that are needing being swapped out, and even in a bar situation, sometimes with multiple tables, you'll get balls that might be older than other balls, but you can still tell they're old balls. Well, there might be a ball that, for example, the 1 ball that gets beat the heck out of it gets hit harder than any other ball on the table most often, because in 9 ball or 10 ball, it's the head ball, and that's where you're breaking. And if there's ever going to be a ball that would be, whether cosmetically or not as precise as the others, that would be the one. So in some situations, if you get like old sets of balls, they just recommend not to put the 1 ball on top. But Taylor had just notified me as well, Taylor and Ricky here at CRs, that we did not actually swap out the balls for this, the regular TV tournament balls. So they're using, I believe, the new sets of Aramis that Jerry had got for the whole place recently. So they are new, in fact new, but not the normal TV balls so you see. So I won't mispronounce the 4 ball and the 12 ball as I commonly do. Oh, that one just a little bit outside. Looked like he was trying to throw that a little bit, and maybe with some inside, and you can kind of cheat the right side of the pocket on your view, and then it'll throw it to the right. And it looks like he just put it outside and didn't get any throw on that at all. So now Pluta and Matt have to deal with a couple of things here. If you go after moving the 8 right now, you do solids a bigger favor than you do yourself. Because he's still got 3 balls up there that don't have a pocket. So one of the worst things you could do is possibly move that 8 ball out for your opponent and then not get out here. So if you are going to try to get out here, you have to make things work. And I kind of like what he's looking at. He's looking at that 10 off the 6 ball. That will open up that pocket for 2 of those balls, the 13 or the 9 ball. But I think to make that off the 6, you almost have to shoot it into the rail instead of coming off the 6. There's not much room. If you go off the 6, it might rattle. That's definitely what he was playing for. And I don't know if he really got the angle that Matt's necessarily going to be comfortable with, but definitely be going rail first on this. And if you're going to go rail first, that 6 may go into the upper rail towards that 9, 13, 14. So if he's going to play it off that rail, he's going to have give this one a nice firm stroke. Because I want that 6, if it's going to go into those stripes, I want it to move something. Last thing I want to do is just to roll up there gently and just tie up with those balls. But, or do you go to the side? That'll move him. Looks like he's loading up for it too. Side pocket. Oh, he had to. I think he had to hit that one a little bit firmer. If he hit that ball just a hair firmer, they are sitting pretty. But I think Jamie got that ball in the side pocket anyways. So this is going to work out just great. It looked like it might have been tied on a little bit where he couldn't have that shot. But there you go. Good shot. Nice. That was a good play by Matt. I thought he came a little bit light into that, but they're still at the table running. So again, this is a race to 11. Winner breaks, of course. And for anyone new on the format for this too, is that sometimes in Scotch, if for example, say Matt were to make the 8-ball, sometimes in some Scotch formats it means Jamie would have to break, but not here. You can make the 8 and then break as well. I like that aspect of it too. 13. It's good. Like maybe a little more angle on this ball. But Jamie should be able to get him down here. I wouldn't be surprised if they shoot the ball in the rail first. You got to get a little bit more on that. That'll be all right. He's going to run into that ball, I think. You can baby this in where you just kind of bump into the ball on the rail, and then you take it in the left corner pocket. Or you can hit it a little bit more firm and then play for the cue ball to bump into it, go under the rail, and then up the table just a little bit, maybe a diamond or so off that rail. I think if you go soft and lay this in, you run the risk of double kissing though. Just kind of, or you can draw back like this and elevate. Sometimes people don't like elevating off the rail like that. I think it's a shot that everybody should practice more, especially if you don't like shooting it. Not much of an angle there, but Mr. Pluta has gotten himself out of worse situations. I'm sure Matt will be real happy with how he ends up on this. Get up there. That'll work. There's some scratch in this. You can make this scratch. It's not naturally going to scratch, but you can make this scratch by doing a little bit of draw and trying to throw it in there. Instead, I think you just straight cut it in, run the cue ball across the table, back and forth. Like that there. That was a shot where he could have actually, like I was mentioning, drew into the scratch. If he doesn't hit that ball very well. Whereas I think if you just go center ball, even maybe a little bit of inside, just to kind of deaden the angle a little bit, kind of pinch it up, just cut it in and let the cue ball go to left side rail, across to the right side rail above the side pocket. And then you can give that a little bit better stroke. I think by avoiding that scratch, he put so much English on that and too much throw that he ended up, that was where the miss came from. But this is no easy out for Team Solids here. How's that? That's a nice little sporty safety there. Only thing that Pluta has available, I believe, would be 2 rails, up table, 2 rails. He might be able to kick to the right side rail and then come underneath that 3, but he's going to have to really flatten it off that rail. He likes it though. Yeah, he's going to shoot it that way. So hit this with some left English, and then it'll flatten out the cue ball as it comes back across. And he hit it perfect. Man, what a shot. Man, that was nice. Very nice, Jamie. Impressed. 2-0, race to 11. So when you do that, and what he did is that he shot beyond the normal point where you'd like if you split the difference. And with the cue ball going that direction, with some inside English, it killed the cue ball off that rail. Instead of even hitting the bottom rail, it shortened up the angle that it'd deflect off there. Just the same as like if you kick at a ball and then you use right English from that instance, you would make the ball spin off the side rail down to the bottom rail quicker. very important in kicking a lot like that, and he hit that really good. I thought the only thing he had was that 2-railer, but man, he hit that ball. He hit that ball good. Definitely impressed. Jamie Pluta in the house. Matt breaking. They're up 2-0 early. Race to 11. Tim and Eric watching stoically. There is Monday Night Leagues in here tonight, and all the 7-foot tables are full, being used for league play. They had a couple of couples that had stopped by were looking to get on a table, but as most league nights are, most of the venues around, especially here, is that when you do it right, you pack a full house, and that's what Jerry does. So you get on league night, it's pretty almost impossible you're going to get a table until about 9:30, maybe 10 o'clock. So Tim Tundrum at the table, down 2-0, down 0-2, I should say. And I really don't, I'd love to get on solids, but I don't like how I'd have to get there because you got a 5-ball up table you have to deal with. The 2 might break that out, but if you don't break that out and get on a ball, you're selling out the rack probably. The 4 doesn't look like it goes by the 7. If you roll forward on the 2, though, you can get on the 1, and then from the 1 you could send the cue ball up into the 7-4. Just catch the edge of that 7. Something's going to have to happen, though, if you're solids to get that 5-ball broken up. I like that shot. Pretty safe. Come across, just run into those balls and hopefully separate. And they did. The 12 now has a pocket in the lower right. The 8-ball's opened up. 9-ball has a pocket. And I don't think I'd take that ball now. I know he'd love to, but I think you can come back for that. You can get on that ball better. You have a few ways to get there. You have from the 11, you can go to the 12. 12 can go on the 9, and the 9 will get you up there. The 14 will get you up there. The 13 will get you up there. What I would be careful of doing, though, is waiting until the very end to get on that ball. Like to get it handled at some point and then clean up on the other ones. I think the 12 has to be taken out now, though, because you're probably not going to get a better look at it. And if you draw over and slide into the 7, you'd be straight on you'd have the 9 in the upper corner, but you lose your angle to get up on the 15 there. But from there, you could slide across kind of where the cue is right now. Get a little bit forward and get an angle on the 14 in the side and get in the 15. But he's going to go 14 and go the other direction. Remember, the 12 isn't giving them the trouble that it looks like from my screen. So now you could go 9, 12, 13, and then over to the 15. The 9 does go in the lower left corner, but the 12, however, does not. I think Eric's going to push his chips all in and go for the 15 right here. If you don't get a good angle on that ball, you're going to kind of be rolling the dice getting back down table. See where the first diamond is on the upper left side rail? You'd have loved to have gotten there. Then you could just roll across the table. And now Tim's going to have to draw off that ball and then off the 5-ball, which sometimes can really zip. Oh, we missed it anyways. Sometimes when you do that, when you're drawing off a ball, shooting your ball, there's another ball right next to it. Sometimes that ball will accelerate. You don't have to hit it as hard as you normally think you would. It kind of picks up like a little acceleration off of it, especially if you have a lot of outside English on it. Jamie treating that 2-rail bank in the lower corner pocket. Used all the pocket there. Man, if he could get that 6 right now, I'd love to shoot that ball. Looks like he can get it. I'd love to take that ball right now. Just don't get buried in that one ball. Good shot. Makes things a lot easier. Now, I don't mind stop shot on the 1 right here and take the 7 in the upper corner because you'd be straight in. All you have to do is roll up table and get on the 5 in the side. You don't even have to get up to the 9. You don't even have to get up to mid table. You can come up short on the 5 and just go up to upper end rail. But I don't mind shooting the 1 up in the corner. I think Matt's going to spin out and get on top of it, though, which isn't bad either. But I don't mind that stop shot right there. Oh, wow. He almost nudged into it, yeah. And that would be one thing that could go wrong. Nudge into it and then get it over underneath that 12 there. But hit that ball good, man. I just like the idea if I stop that ball right there, I'm straight in the 7. It goes well past that 9 ball. Just straight in. You minimize the movement of the cue ball. And then you just kind of stun forward a couple inches and you're on the 5. Jamie doesn't want to get stuck to where he draws back off this ball and ends up behind the 9 ball with the cue ball, which can certainly happen. He doesn't want to come up short. He's going to take the 2 first. Good shot. Good shot. Good control on that. Expect anything else. That guy plays like a champ. He is a champion. Doesn't play like one. He is a champion. He's got a quite the resume, Mr. Pluta. Well earned. What I would call an OG of the Minnesota pool scene. So now you come down to the bottom rail, some low right, just gently come up off the rail, diamond or a couple diamonds. See if this was some draw, a little bit of right English like that. Don't spin too far. Oh my goodness. Too much spin on that ball. Holy cow. You just want to come down so the spin kills it off there, and then it just kind of checks back up table. You don't want to turn into it like that. He might have just stroked that one too good. Put a little bit too much juice on it, more than he thought he did. Sometimes when he stroked the ball really, really well, it's easy to just put a little bit too much on it. He didn't really get down to the rail like he wanted to. It kind of floated down rather than just kind of a direct little draw, a little outside English, and just kind of kill off that rail. And when it hit the bottom rail, I had so much spin on it still that it had no choice but to turn like that. Now, Matt does have a good safety right here. He's not going to shoot it, but you could roll forward on this 8 and just kind of put the cue ball right on that stripe. You could lay the cue ball right on that stripe, and with the 8 on the rail, though, you might get handcuffed pretty easy. Kind of a straight in bank too. Good shot! Wow. Wow. Dead center bank on that. Man, oh man. He hit it so hard he took the paint off the ball. It was awesome. Well done. Dave Eckert was up here to hop in the booth, he said, but when I made that comment joke about verbal punching bag, I think he took it to heart too much. So, Dave, I'm sorry, man. I was only teasing. I got a stool up next to me for you. You got your headset warmed up. I got a candy bar up here for you. And good solid break. Nothing went though. Man, he hit that solid. Look at that cue ball too. If you can draw a little circle in the middle of the 7-foot table, like right where the 13 is, see where that is? You go around like 1.5 feet in a circle and just kind of put a string out and just kind of draw a circle with that as the middle of it. You plant that cue ball right in there, man. That's a really good break in my book. I'd love to have that kind of a cue ball action. Make a ball every now and then. Man, this table's sitting pretty open. If you take the 10 right now, stop shot, and shape that 12 in the lower right corner, you're out. Right there. Do you get on the 12? If you can take that ball right now, you're out. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on your YouTube browser or app, whatever you're using. And we appreciate the support. This is Mark Weaver in the booth at CR Sportsbar, Coon Rapids, Minnesota, of course. The mecca of pool in the upper Midwest. It's where everybody goes and plays. That Friday night weekly tournament jackpot, side jackpot, is like $1,900 right now. It has just grown immensely. That's a nice little kitty. So keep that in mind on Friday nights if you're looking for a good tournament. It's been around forever, $21 entry. Sign-ups are done at 7 for that. You want to get here between 6 and 7, enjoy some free table time, and throw your name in the hat. It's a lot of fun, that Friday night tournament. It's been going on forever and really popular. You see players of all different levels not only participate, but pull down the victory in place. Usually like a race to 3 and on the front, 2 on the back. But we're race to 11 right here. There is a 15,000 added Friday through Sunday, October 4th through the 6th this year. 3 divisions, $450 entry. Upper division is open, invite only. The division number 2, $650 and under. Division 3, $575 and under. $450 entry. Amadon Graphics, main sponsor. There's several other ones. Refuge, Fargo Rate, Monticello, Auto Service, Frobix, Keeps Collision, Billy Bob. But you got 10 ball on Friday night and 8 ball on Saturday. Should be sure talking about that in the next few months. But that's a big one, 15,000 added. So now Eric's got to find a way to navigate from the 15 to get... I don't know if you're going to go through there, my friend. There is a window there. In between the 3 and the 6, into the rail, in between the 2 and the 4, and get on the 13. But I kind of like going into the rail and coming out above the 3 and then getting on the 13 from up above. Then take the 13 in the lower right corner pocket. Kind of like that, but you have to hit it. Now, if that ball, cue ball comes out there, he's on that ball. That goes. And then you can navigate from there if you get on the 11 first or the 12. I think it's the 12 out there. But unless Tim can put the Superman cape on here and pull off some heroics in this shot. Looks like Jamie and Matt might be able to widen this lead a little bit by another game. That was kind of a tough break, Eric. You hit the right shot. It just came off that rail a little bit flat for you. You could have hit it a little bit harder maybe too, but it was the right idea. Nope, foul ball. 7 ball got tied up a little bit. Shouldn't be much of an issue though. So you got ball in hand. Now, you could shoot from the almost there. You can move the cue ball over a couple of inches, shoot the 3 in the lower right corner, and draw over into that 11. That'll move the 8 and the 7 for you. You should have the 4 on the side. I think there's better ways to do it, though. So you're kind of putting your eggs in your basket right off the get-go on ball in hand. And if that 2 would go by the 4, if there's a lot of pocket right there, I don't have a problem shooting the 2 and then, putting an angle on that so the cue ball runs right into the 7. And then I got the 4 on the side as well. But I think he's going to shoot my first shot. I like this play though. You got to make sure you give yourself an angle to go into the 11, and don't get underneath the 11. You want to go into it to where you move up table. Kind of like that right there. That'll work. Good shot, Matt. Well done. Nice and controlled. 7 goes in the lower right corner now. You see what I mentioned about getting a up table off that? Let's say he hit the bottom part of that 11 and the cue ball gets down to the bottom row. There's a chance the 11 might have gotten in between him and the 4. Then you'd be in a lot of trouble. Call it getting buried or, catching the wrong side. The ball is a more appropriate way to look at it. But when you're breaking into something like that or trying to move balls, keep that in mind that if you catch it on one side of it, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. It's going to make it a lot more difficult. So executing that shot is all depends on hitting that 11 just right. See, a lot of times people will do that. They'll break into a ball and just catch the wrong side of the ball, and all of a sudden the cue ball is down and never land, or they're shooting off the rail, or
Saturday is the league player appreciation free tournament. If you'd like to sign up for that, go up and see Taylor at the front.
Good shot. Get off the rail. Get off the rail.
Totally free to play. Jerry's added.
That's a dreaded shot. If you know the shot I'm talking, where the object ball is frozen on the rail past the side pocket, and the cue ball gets on the rail on the opposite side of the pocket. Absolutely hate that shot, but Jamie should have no problem with this. Go over to the 5, maybe pick up the 1 and then the 2. I like going from 1 to the 2. The 2 gets me on the 8 really easy. The 1 does too, but you got to move the cue ball a little bit more. I don't know if he has an angle to get from the 5 to the 1. Probably going to have to just shape the 2 and let Jamie get you a good angle on the 1. The 1 ball, now, if you shape the 5 and then shoot the 2 and draw back a few inches, I think the 1 gets a better angle that way than being to the left side of the table. I think you almost want to be in the middle of the table for the 1 if you're going to use the 1 to get in the 8 ball. Looks like he can get over there. Yeah, there's angle on that 5. You can get over on that 1. I like to go over into the rail on these with the cue ball and come back off the rail. Come over and then off. If you roll that ball, slow roll it still goes, but sometimes you can catch a skid on those too. And if you see the pros play, they'll do what they call it's been called like pro shape, where you go into the rail with the cue ball and come back out gently, instead of just trying to hold the cue ball there. So up to the upper rail and then just gently on the 2. That's all right. Tapping on the table, slowing down the cue ball.
That's probably better than slowing down earlier than that. He doesn't need that big of an angle.
No.
That's perfect.
Yep. Yeah, he can run right into the rail on this too with the cue ball.
Just follow it forward.
Follow it forward, go into the rail, come gently out a few inches, and then be pretty much straight in on the 8 ball in the lower right corner. It's another example of going into the rail and coming out gently with the cue ball instead of trying to hold it. Just like that. Very nice. Four to nothing, race to 11. Matt and Jamie off to a nice little lead here to start out. Tim and Eric could have had opportunities, but Jamie and Matt have closed the door when Tim and Eric haven't taken advantage of them. Eric had a good shot on that one too. He played that ball right. He just came out there a little bit light. He had to hit a little bit firmer. thing in a situation that Eric was in on that is that you've got to keep in mind that if you go too far, you're going to have something on your ball. If you come up short, you're really stuck. Hindsight's always 20/20, but keep that in mind on shots like that sometimes. Okay, if I go too far, I'll still have a shot. Might not like it, but it's better than the opposite coming up short. And Jamie Pluta once again breaking them really well with nothing dropping. Tim Tunjum at the table. The only way to start out on solids is going to be, I think the 11-3 combo would work, but it's going to take stripes. Stripes are sitting really good anyways, but I think the 11-3 combo would have went in the side pocket. Kind of start running balls around a little bit crazy though.
All right, we are going to get started back with bingo. Thank you very much for the tip for the cover off. Congratulations.
You got the bingo going tonight over here in the bar area. If you can hear it in the background, numbers being called. The daubers are out in full effect. I think the only one table I see has, I think there's like 8 daubers on there. There's 2 people there. One night I seen a backpack full of daubers brought in there by somebody. The bingo heads were out in full force. Very popular too. I can't keep up with it, so I don't play. Matt's taking a peek to see if it's going to be close for the hit or not. Jamie doesn't seem too concerned. Taylor, you want to go record it? Taylor and Ricky in the house, going to be our official referee for the night. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but Rob Matson posted a video. He told me about this when I think we were out in Vegas, or maybe we were doing a table job, but let's see if Tim makes this here. There was a match from way, way, way back in the day when Rob had told me that he got called to referee it. And you had to wear the dress pants, the dress shirt. And so they went out and got him this. Kim Davenport or one of them, they got Rob to do the ref thing. And they went out and got him all the shirt and the dress shirt and stuff like that. But he posted a video of it. It's pretty cool. And rocking the mullet. Rocking the big old head of hair too, dude. But that was pretty cool. That was a nice share. I know you said they had a hard time finding that online and stuff, but you found it, and that was pretty cool. I think he had told me when he called a foul on somebody, too. Foul! Oh, man. That would been a lot of fun, though. Good for you, man. Hall of Famer, Rob Matson. Well earned. Ooh, that ball almost didn't go. I mentioned that Friday on the stream recently in Vinea. Rob Matson enshrined into the Hall of Fame for Vinea with a few others. Rich Ahrens, Southern Minnesota pool icon, was out there as well. And well-deserved, Rich. Pretty cool to be a part of that and see those two up there and see the way the Midwest represents out there. And I'm talking down to Iowa. We got some Wisconsin and North Dakota people, and it's just pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Really is a good community we have in a lot of ways. Tim at the table now, down 4-0. It's not over by any regards. Four game lead isn't much at all, but you got to put the stops on here at some point. And a lot of times in matches, at least for me, it's that first game, that first win is not only the first match in a tournament, but the first win in the first game. Sometimes it gets so elusive. It just, it's things just kind of are off a little bit. You're shooting well, but the ball just ends up in kind of a weird little angle, and next thing you know, you're down a few games. It's like, boy, I might not win a game, and the pockets get tighter. Cue ball starts to feel like a bowling ball, and oh man, we've all been there. But you just got to focus. You got to realize that things aren't that hard. It's just going to appear that way. Because sometimes we make it look so easy that when we're on the opposite end of the spectrum, it's really a big slap in the face. It's like, God, how can I play this bad when at times I play so good? Pretty good shot, Eric. Pretty good. You got to look at it. Now, Tim can cut this ball and hit inside, try to come back into the 3-ball, or there is a bank available, cross corner, and he can control the cue ball on the bank very well to leave on the 8-ball. But he's going to cut this and hit it with inside right. Try to catch the 3, I think, or come right across again. Good shot. Well done. Man, that was good. Struck it very well to not run into anything. And as I was speaking just a minute ago about sometimes picking up that first game, we're going to see them do it right here. Takes a little bit of pressure off, finally, to get on the board. 4-1, race to 11. Tim and Eric flipping the numbers. That first game is often the heaviest one to flip right there. And then when you get up towards the hill, it appears again. That game is hard to get sometimes. Especially if you're ahead and then the other team's starting to catch up or your opponent's catching up a little bit. That you're on the hill, sometimes that last game can just be so elusive. See how Eric breaks here. Good hit. Talen's up here showing me the hit on the shot that Tim did. Nice break. Get a good spread. Look at these balls. Solids except for the 6. 6 ain't a real big deal, but I like working on the 6 more than I like working on that 9 ball. Although the 9 does have a pretty easy path to get to it from the 10. What you do from there, though. So take the easy ones. Start out with 2. Probably end up running into the 9 ball with the cue ball on this. Although last game he ran that cue ball back and forth and avoided the 3 and the 4. Not once, but twice. So he might just be able to run the cue ball back and forth again. Yeah, you can get on the 6 there, and I think the 8 goes in the lower right corner. So where he was pointing, they want to end up there last. Unless you can get on the 6 earlier and then slide the cue ball into the 4 and bump it to the left of the 11. Then you can work on the upper end of the table. But there's not many options to really get there, though. Unfortunately, by shooting the 2, he'll end up. I think we're going to see a safety up here. He can make these balls, though. They can still run out, but I wouldn't mind a safety right here. I'd roll into the 7 and let the 7 double kiss me up above the 5. The cue ball would sit right up above the 5. It can be really frustrating to your opponent when they've got to kick at stuff when they're wondering why you didn't just run out. Psychological warfare, they say. Cue ball's got to come. Well, if you're going to go after the 6, well, you got to take the 1 now first, right? If you go after the 6, again, you can shoot the 6 and end up bumping the 8, but the thing I don't like about the 6 is that if you don't get the right angle on that ball, you're not getting on the 8. Yeah, 4 can get over there. 4 can get him over there, but sounds like Cheryl's having a good time in the background.
Mistake not taking that 6 ball. Play the 4 and 6.
Ooh. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if Tim can get the cue ball back onto the 4 at an angle that is going to be comfortable for Eric. Yeah, I think he can get there. Otherwise, he might end up with kind of a steep angle on it. That'll work right there. Well, here we go. This is a shot that is going to determine this game. How he ends up on the 6. Now you got to be careful you don't bump that ball, because if you bump that ball, it'll block the 8 ball going in the lower right corner pocket. And then you also lose your angle for that 6 anyways by going that far. I'd rather be above it than come too far. And he's going to go behind the 13. Yep. I see, if you're above that 6, you still have a chance, because you can cut the 6, run the cue ball into the 8 ball, and then you may still have a shot in the 8 after. But once you get below it or behind the 13, then even if Tim makes this, the proper way for Tim to make this and get in the 8 ball is to play this ball off the 10 ball. Because if he just makes this in the pocket, if he makes a 6, you're not going to have a pocket for the 8. So I think if you're going to make this, you almost have to play it off the 10, which isn't easy. And you gotta jump it a little bit better than that. I don't blame him though. I'm not a jumper either.
I don't know why he hit it so hard, that 4 ball.
Well, a lot of times with those good jump cues like that, you don't have to hit them hard, do you? You just gotta.
I meant the 4 ball air.
Oh, the 4 ball. Yeah, why he drifted so hard. Yeah, because I mean, if you're above the 6 and don't float, if you don't cross the line, you can still make the 6, run into the 8, and the 8 will give you a shot in the lower left corner pocket.
You roll that 4 ball in just very slowly.
Yep.
Perfect on the 6
Yeah, roll it in slowly.
ball. Roll it in.
And I wouldn't want to run into that 13, because I think when you run into the 13, if you bump it at all, it's going to block the pocket for the 8. So.
Well, if anything, he could have hit it. Then he would have hit it. Should have hit it harder.
Yeah. And if you come up short too on the 6, you can always cross bank it back in the side, then play the cue ball so you take the 8 in the opposite side pocket. But I would bet anything that Eric would love to have that shot back, obviously. I know he'd hit it better than that. It's a couple games where I think the previous one where he came out a little bit light on it too. I think maybe wouldn't say necessarily nerves, but this is where when your partner or your teammate, you just say, keep your chin up, man. It's all right. Trust yourself and don't let those shots determine how you're going to play the rest of the match. It's easy to say. It's not always easy to do, though. It's kind of that whole aspect where I mentioned before that it gets to a point a lot of times where the game is you against yourself more than you against your opponent, and it's you against the table, and just executing. Your opponent doesn't really have anything to do with it when you're at the table. I mean, you're in control of the outcome. And we battle with ourselves more than anything. The more that we play, the more we end up just kind of battling with ourselves to execute like we know how, and compared to anything else. I don't like going in between those two balls. I like going to the right side of the 13 and just coming back to the middle of the table. Because I think by doing that, you had to, he's putting too much juice on it or something. I don't know. I mean, if you follow forward on that, though, you could just hit center ball and just go tip above center and just go up to that upper end rail and just bring it back down. Make it make it simple for you. Nice stroke, Eric. Well done. That's a good shot. There you go. There you go. Good shot. Good out. 4-2, race to 11. BCA rules, Scotch doubles event here at CR Sportsbar, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. This is Mark Weaver in the booth. Live. Table 15. Jamie Pluta and Matt B. versus Tim Tunjum and Eric M. See Gordy Anderson in the background there talking to Jamie. Monday Night League's going on in here as well. Man, nice and solid. Nice and solid. Solids are open too. Suddenly 4-0, and just like we've seen a lot of times in these matches here, a team gets out by a few games, 2, 3, 4 games, etc., and the opponent just picks a few up and comes right back into it. And that's where we're at right now, 4-2, and Tim and Eric have a really nice looking table here. If he starts with this 2-ball, he could, I would avoid the 13 and that, what is it, 14 over there? I'd avoid touching them at all. I don't like shooting the 2 for that reason. Because I think if I move that, if I don't want to move those 2 balls over there. You see them by the 3-ball? I don't want to move them if I'm solids. I still think I can get out, still win the game even if I do. But I would like to go in a pattern in a route that I don't have to touch those balls at all, because those are kind of a problem for them. But I think Tim's going to run into them from here. Nope. Well done. I like that. I like that. I like that you didn't touch them. I think, the 13 goes, but not from only a real small spot on the table. A real small line that 13 goes. So you kind of got them handcuffed if you're solids a little bit right now. If you shoot this 6 now, I'd love to leave the 7 to get on the 8-ball. I think this is a good ball to shoot and just get on the 5. 5 to the 4. Oh, Tim might have to shoot the 4 here. Kind of slid a little bit on the 5. If you take the 5, you're going to run the cue ball into that 11. Shouldn't be a big problem, but always a risk tying something up, maybe tying up the 1 accidentally. Oh, he's going to go off the end rail. And welcome to shooting over a ball, or you can take the 7 right now. I don't like the 4 from there. I think the cue ball. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. the angle that I'm seeing on my screen might be different than Eric's looking at. Because if he can avoid that 13, then this isn't bad at all. I don't want to end up over there though. I want to come off that rail. It's kind of why I didn't like that ball. I thought that he might run into that 13 and end up over at that area with the cue ball anyways. If you're gonna be able to avoid them entirely, then you got to come off that rail more. Tim should be able to back cut this zone. The one ball will probably have to go to the side pocket or all the way down. Got a nice little nudge on it there. Very fortunate nudge. Good stroke on this one, Eric. There you go. Good shot. Now, Tim's got to slide over above the stripes to the left side rail and then come back across the table, roughly about where the 7 is right now. So this will hit about the 3rd diamond on the left side rail and then come back across. Get over, get over, get over. Might have came a little bit short. Yep. Came up just a little bit short. Man, that looked like it was going to come just enough too, but it seemed like the cue ball came down a little bit below that 3rd diamond over there. I think if he got above that 3rd diamond, he would have had to hit it firmer, and then the cue ball would have come over. Good hit. I think if he would have hit it with a little bit better stroke, a little bit harder stroke, and got above that 3rd diamond, the cue ball would have had enough momentum, of course, to get on the 8 ball. But since he ended up below that 3rd diamond, he didn't hit it firm enough. If he was going to go that way, he had to put a lot more English on that, so the English would propel off that rail. Jamie can just kind of roll forward on the 13 here and play a safety if he wants. I don't know if he can pocket this ball, but you don't have to. You just roll forward and just let the cue ball hide up there behind that stripe, just like that. Good shot. So Tim has a kick. Anytime on a shot like this, it's pretty low percentage, but good players do hit these. Even the players rated lower hit these. We all get our share of these kind of real low percentage shots. We get our share. You just can't ever count on them or rely on them, But Tim's going to give it a go. Oh, almost. And he fouled, though, and made the ball. But, man, that was not bad. That was a good try. If he misses that ball, that stripe, he might have made that ball. That would have been pretty close. So neither team is having a lot of luck on the break. Making balls consistently. They've been at it about an hour now, 5-2. Pretty good pace. No, the one. I don't think the one goes off. The one might go off that 11, but I think the 11's up off that end rail a little bit too much. That's one way to open up that 3 ball. Stripes. Stripes isn't bad, but you're probably not running out on them. And with the 6 ball where it is, the 6 has to be banked. You have to deal with the 3 ball, which you have a couple of options to get there if you're solids. If you could get the cue ball right where that 5 is, then you could certainly deal. Oh, and he got there too. He got a good angle. He can deal with that 11 ball right now. Can draw down to the rail there, bump into the 3. If you don't shape this ball, though, then you're in trouble.
He's going to shoot the 9.
Yep, going to shoot the 9 and then try to run down and bump the 3 off the. Don't make it. Oh. Well,
He might have got away with it.
might have got it with it. I don't know if that 13 goes by the 10. If it does, it's pretty tight. Yeah, I think it does go by there. Boy, that's a tight shot, though. Oh, looks like Tim's looking at a combo. Or no.
Nice save.
Boy, is that a small window up there.
You come off this ball and go right in between all 3.
Go into the 14 and then have the cue ball drift in there and hide behind the 13.
That's what he's looking at.
I think he's going to try to. I think he's going to call that ball. He might call the 10 and use the cue ball to make the 10.
Oh, look at this.
Man, that was a good try. That was a really good try. I don't know what they would have done after that, but Pluta has to deal with the 6 ball at some point.
He could probably. Oh, no, 3 balls.
I don't know if he can cut it from there.
Well, I think the 3 balls.
Yeah. Oh, wow, almost made the 8 ball. Man, that was almost a disaster. And they still got to deal with the 15 ball here. 8 ball has pockets. Now, if you use a bridge, you can make this ball and then bump into the 15 and the 6 will move, and that'll open it up for you. Hit it with some left English, go off that end rail, and just go right up into the 15 ball. Unless he can reach, if he can reach that far.
I think I leave it where I leave that 10 ball so you can combo that in. It makes it a lot easier. You can shoot this ball 13 and then shoot the 15 into the 10.
Well, the 15 is cuttable, yeah.
You don't have to.
I just don't know if he can get there, though.
You don't have to be perfect on it, or you could come off it with the cue ball and make that ball and bump that.
Well, now we're getting crazy, Taylor.
Well, I mean, come on, Gary.
Draw off the 15 into that ball up there? Oh, okay,
Shoot the
okay.
15 down here,
I see what you're saying.
15,
Yep.
then you can-
Gotcha. Carry him off it. Well, he's going to have to shoot it now because he can't shoot any other ball.
I
I think that hurts you, Taylor.
I like leaving that 10 there because it's so much easier to make that 15 ball. You can do whatever you want with it. Either cut it in,
Yeah.
room that air, or you can come off with the cue ball.
I think you're right. He could have shot that ball in the lower right corner, though, came off the rail and got on the 15-9 combo.
On the 15, you can shoot that. Otherwise, you have
Yep.
this ball to shoot, and then you can come back out and shoot this, do the same thing.
This isn't an easy shot here.
Sales are closed. Game 9 is played on your red border.
You made it though.
Oh, he made it look easy, too. Now you got to shoot over a ball again.
Because Bonanza's
It's all right, though. You can slow roll this ball and get on the ball on the side or in the corner, and then you're on the 8 ball. Don't look at the side. Walk over more, Eric. Walk over more, and you can see that you can shoot it right down in the corner. The corner is easier. See, he only looked at the side, didn't he? He didn't go over far enough. If you walk to the end of the table, there go. Yeah. No, walk over more. Go to the right more. No. He doesn't want to look at it. The ball goes right down in the lower left corner pocket. And I think that's easier to shape than the side is, because the side, you're going to run past it no matter what. Now you're at a weird angle on this ball. If I'm Tim, I shoot this in the lower left corner, go into the side rail above the side pocket, and then down across the spot and take the 8 in the same pocket. I might even be so bold and say, I'm going to play this game last pocket. Look at my opponent. And play last pocket. But you can take it in the side and get on the A2. I don't know. It just doesn't. Feels kind of dicey this way. Come all the way down to the bottom rail, then bump up a little off about a diamond and a half. Or hold it. Man, how did he hit that ball? Jesus. Oh, my gosh. How did he? Yeah, I thought for sure he'd come down to the bottom rail and then go back up. Man, oh, man, was that good. I just learned something tonight right there. Wow. Man, oh, man, that was good. That was good. Five to 3, race to 11. Monday night, CR Sportsbar, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Scotch doubles matches. Friday, like I mentioned earlier, I believe there are 2 matches scheduled this coming Friday, and then there's another match scheduled for the 21st. Five to 3. Eric at the table breaking. Man, that was a good shot by Tim, though. Floating that cue ball and just holding it right. It was like straight in the 8, too. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. 5 ball. 5 ball goes. I think you take it right now with ball in hand and then run out solids. Pluta almost launched out of his chair. You could feel that momentum kind of not just slipping away from them, but being gripped away from them. And this is where you get this win right here and reassert yourself a little bit. Then get up to, if you get this all right here and put a couple together and get up to about 8-3, starts to get a lead that's almost insurmountable. Nicely done. Connect the dots now, yep. Just be a little bit patient. Don't get ahead of yourself, and don't just fire away at the ball. You still want to have a plan. Draw into the 12 here with your, that's a 15 ball with the cue ball. Then leave yourself in the 3. Oh, don't want to. You see, you want to slide into that ball. It doesn't hurt nothing to slide the cue ball into that ball, and then you give Jamie a full cue ball to shoot this 3. Jamie shouldn't have a problem with this ball, but when you make things harder for yourself, that's why ratings are what they are. You end up making your things a little bit harder for yourself, and the lower rated player seems to obviously do that more often than the higher rated players. Ironically, a lot of times the lower rated players are better at those shots, bailing themselves out because they shoot them more often. Like, I know a lot of people that are rated lower than me that will out-jump me. I would lose a kidney if I got into a jumping contest with a lot of them. They jump that well, but they jump more often, too. Besides, I don't jump like I used to and when I played basketball in high school with my 42-inch vertical. It's really depreciated since then, but I feel that gravity has gotten stronger since then. So that's part of it, too. The gravitational pull has actually gotten stronger. I've got math that I've written down. It's not really finalized yet, but I do have a thesis on that put together. So, It happens, man. I sure miss that. My 42-inch vertical and playing ball when I was younger. Now I don't know if I've got a 4-inch vertical. And I might even hurt my ankles if I do. If I do have. Oh, don't rub the 6. Oh, he got around there. Good, good. Very nice. Should put them back up to 6-3 here. And a good solid out by these guys, too. Every time Tim and Eric get a little rally going, it seems that Jamie and Matt somehow find a way to pick up a game. You keep grinding, though. Never out of it. It's always nice, too, when you're in a match, whether in a tournament, league, or whatever, or, gambling or whatever, but when you have a table like that, where you get ball in hand, you can put it right. The 5 would go, but it was just kind of an area, well, man, if I could get ball in hand, just set it on this ball. Everything else is just easy from there. And it's kind of nice to have those games sometimes. They don't come always when we need them the most. You might be in a match and just feeling it kind of, not, speaking in relation to this one, but you might be in a match and you're behind a few games and things just ain't going well and stuff. And instead of getting games where you got to work at it to get out, or you got to have maybe a couple things even roll your way a little bit, it's nice to have one where it's just wide open and you can just kind of work your way around it. There's not a lot of trouble to get into and, kind of get a little confidence and pocket some balls. That's one thing, too, is that when you have a hard time getting out on some tables, whether you get bad rolls or they're just tough layouts, you get in this thing of where you're not really pocketing balls. You're playing safeties, you're kicking, you're trying to hide the cue ball, and if you play one pocket, you'd experience that. Where it's one of the challenges is that you can dink and dunk and just kind of tick cue ball off of balls and just play these safeties back and forth and have this intense battle, and all of a sudden you got a pocket of ball that you're going to make 95% of the time, but because you've been playing this defensive game for so long, it's it's all of a sudden you're like a 60 or 70%, and kind of happens when you're playing a match like this too, where whether your team that you're playing or the individual you're playing is just a couple games ahead, and then every time you get a little rally going, then something happens and they just get a couple games ahead again, and so Tim Tundrum at the table, down 3-6. Long ways to go, though. A lot of pool to go. And he likes solids. That 13 ball up there, I don't blame him. It is accessible by a few stripes, but it will be now, especially if you take the 5. Now the 5 will have to get you on the 7. I feel. So the 7 only goes one way, and that's the upper right corner pocket. Unless you come off the rail and bump into the stripe. No, he hit that good. Pretty good shot. I was going to say you could go into the rail and bump that ball. You may have a long shot on the 2 ball then, but that would open the the upper corner pocket there for the 7. I don't blame him for shooting it that way, though. I don't really like that long 2 ball. Look at that 2 ball right there. I don't like shooting that shot. Sometimes you have to do a thing like that, though, and open up that pocket. Let's say the 7 couldn't go at all to the right pocket either. That'd be the way to generate a pocket for it, and then you'd have to shoot that 2 ball. I try to run into the 11 here with the cue ball. Good shot. Now, if he's got an angle on the 1 to draw straight back, I don't think he has it though. Where you could just draw straight back, I'd shoot that 1 right now, but I think it'll slide into the 14 ball there. So I don't really like the 2 ball, but I might even be tempted to go follow on this ball here. Go 1-2 rails and go up to the end rail and hope we got the 4. Yeah, should have the 4 over there. But, you know, I might even followed that ball. Went up to the upper right side rail, upper end rail, and then come out to the middle of the table and then get on the 2 that way. Because I kind of like getting on the 2 first. But Tim gets on the 2 from here. It's elementary for him to get out. Gotta just climb up above the stripe. Good shot. Good shot. Now Eric will have to follow into the rail, put some left English on this ball. Hit it with some follow. Maybe he could probably stop shot it too. I like going to the rail here though. He's come short on these a couple of times already, so let's see if he fixes that. Hit that one good. Now there's a window over on the left side rail to get on the 8 ball. That'll be Tim's target area. He might be worried about hitting that stripe down in the bottom rail. If that stripe wasn't there, it'd be really, really nice. That'd be a great spot to hit the cue ball, but I think he's going to slide over and avoid the bottom rail completely. And put Eric on the 8. This will get to 6-4, obviously. Trust your stroke. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. We've all been there, but you got to make that one. Sometimes those shots like that, instead of rolling forward with the cue ball, I think you're better like just like a stop shot. Yeah, hit it with some draw and throw it in a little bit if you need to, but that way you hit it firm. You know, you can fire that ball in there.
I think I shoot that shot with bottom right English every time.
Yeah, a little bit of right English and then.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because you can always throw it.
Because if you shoot that and you try to roll it in like that, like Eric did, and if you don't catch English on that and throw it or catch it too full, that's what'll happen every time. It'll go right up into the rail. If you overcut that ball, which is easy to do too, by rolling it, you'll catch the left side rail, of course, and it'll rattle too. But you snap it into some draw and stroke that ball in there. I think it's a better route. But with that said, just to let you know, when I do play, I do a lot of rolling the ball forward like that too. I'm guilty of that, so I'm not. It's not something that a lot of us don't fall into that trap of doing that. I don't think it's necessarily even a trap. It might be a comfort thing, you know, if you prefer to shoot it one way or the other. But I feel, even though I shoot it the wrong way sometimes, that snapping that into some draw is going to be a more consistent way to pocket it, especially if this is a valley table. But even with it being a diamond. Now Jamie and Matt can clean these up and take a kind of a commanding lead again, getting up by 4 games. They were up 4-0, got to what, 4-2? Maybe was it 4-3? No, 4-2. Then it went to 5-2, 5-3, 6-3 now. And welcome to the 50-yard line, Jamie. Shoot the 10, roll up for the 14, 14 to the 11, 11 to the 9, 9 to the 8. Now you got to be careful that you don't get kind of a weird angle on this 11 because the 9. There you go. Good, good, good. Sometimes, like on that, if you roll forward a little bit and then you got to go to the left side of the 9, that ball gets hard. Because when you come in, that cue ball is kind of coming in sometimes hot and heavy, and the minute it catches the bottom rail, it's going away from your angle. It makes it tougher every little bit that it rolls. But Matt hit that really good. Jamie hit that good. And should be able to roll this in, get right in the 8. Make sure you get up table enough and don't drift over to the left off there. You want to stay to the right side of the spot. Just like that. Good shot. Brought it right up table. Sometimes people let that get away from them a little bit. It'll float over to the left. You know, from your view, it'll float to the left. Go over a little bit closer to the 8 maybe. 7-3, race to 11. Mark Weaver in the booth at CR Sportsbar in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Thank you for tuning in as always, and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on the YouTube browser or app if you're using the app. We appreciate the support. And thank you to Brent Dehan at Dehan Garage Doors, Billy Bob for supporting and sponsoring this tournament here, and to all of our sponsors for everything they've done with the stream over the years. Exciting to see the stream grow and see you viewers out there grow and grow, and some of you religiously watching our stream. We really appreciate it. We haven't ran you off yet, so that's probably a good sign. Doing something right sometimes, huh? So, Mr. Pluta, 7-3, race to 11. Your pick. Boy, if that 5 was a little bit off that rail, be all over these solids. Be nice to take care of that 2 right now. Is he going to shoot the combo? You don't have much of that 5. You don't have a really full ball on that 5. Although you are dead straight into the 2 right now to make that 2-5 combo. You're dead straight on that ball. However, if you do that, then what do you do with the, you got to do something with the 8 ball. And if you can take, here's what you do. If you can take the 9 and then come back and get on the bottom side of that 10, I think the 10 goes off the rail, off the 5. And that would open up for the 13. That's pretty tight up there, though, for that shot. I don't mind taking stripes right there. In fact, you might even not even have to move that ball. You could take, if you get a good angle on that 9, you could slide up there and get on that 13. And just take it in the upper right corner pocket. If you're shooting solids, you got to do the 2-5 combo, I feel, though. But if you're doing stripes, I think he could take the other ball. If it looks like it's makeable. Well, here we go. How they end up in the 13 here will determine the winner of the game, in my opinion. If they get on the 13, Stripes should win this game. If they don't get on the 13, Solids will win this game. And I'll take action on that if anybody wants, and you can message me on Messenger for an appetizer here. If they don't get on the 13 right here, Solids win this game. I don't think it goes off there. I don't know if I'd run into it, though. I think I'd try to slide up there and get on it. Oh, he's going to run into it. And I think Solid wins the game now. Thus, Jamie has Larry Neville type stroke to be able to draw back off this 10 ball and get up by that first diamond on the upper left side rail. There is a route there to do that, but there's another way to get there too. Is if you can roll four. Whoa. Yeah, I was gonna say get on this ball, and this gives you a 2-rail, possibly 3-rail path to get in the 13. Especially if that 11 wasn't there. I know this is gonna sound like I'm making it simple, but really on a shot like this, you want to shoot so the cue ball scratches. You want to play for the scratch. This is why sometimes when you're practicing and you're shooting balls around, practicing playing game after game, do things like this. Put a ball in the hole like that, pocket a ball, and try to get around and scratch it. This will work. This will work. That'll work. But you know what I mean? Get it set up sometimes where you can pocket a ball, run the cue ball around a couple rails, and then scratch on purpose. Because a lot of times there'll be a ball sitting in front of a pocket that you need to run into to either make it and open it up for your balls, or to get in position for something. Little Joe is a wizard about where to hit and where to come off the rail and where to hit it on the cue ball no matter what, and get in certain spots of the table. If you have a interest in getting a lesson, give a call here and get set up with Little Joe. His kicking and rails and going off rails, his system is unmatched in my opinion. It's incredible how accurate it is. And any time spent with Little Joe is time well spent. Last week I was up here and Hank the Tank and him were working on things, and I tell you what, man, it was seeing 5 generations apart like that, and Little Joe just working with Hank, and Hank the app student that he always is. It was pretty special, man. Decades and decades of experience there being shared with young Hank the Tank. It's all right, man. Trust yourself. Take another look. It's a key shot right here. You don't have to get perfect. Just make sure Jamie can see it. You know what I mean? You don't have to try to get too perfect. You don't have to try to get too close. You got Mr. Clutch there. You got Jamie Pluta shooting as your partner. So just make sure he sees that ball. Good shot. Man, that's a good shot. You hit that one good, Matt. You hit that one good. Sometimes people can let that cue ball get away from you, but you hit that one good. Jamie Pluta to go up 8-3. Oh, he missed it.
You cursed him. Your commentator cursed him.
Man, that was a commentator curse. Holy cow, he missed that by quite a bit, too. Not by a lot on the table, but, man, he missed that ball. Holy cow. I cursed him with that Mr. Clutch, didn't I? I don't know if anybody's ever called him Mr. Clutch. They might not call him again after that, but I cursed him. I am guilty. I should have never made anything up. I should have said Mr. Pluta. Man, oh man, oh man. Up 8-3, breaking. Wow.
They're still sitting okay, though.
Man, oh man. Did not see that coming.
I think he jerked it. He didn't shoot it like he normally would shoot it.
Yeah, kind of.
He paused and he had like
Yep, pause and kind of decelerate or something. I don't know, man. There's something wrong in the whole process, obviously.
I feel like normally he kind of rolls that ball in. Knows it can happen to anybody.
If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. Is that song on, you ever see Trailer Park Boys, Taylor?
I think so.
That song was about something else, but. Good shot. Nice firm stroke on that one. Now you can take the 2 and go around 1, 2, 3 rails, get it right on top of the 6. Natural shape just to kind of come around a few rails so you can hit it with inside and stay above it. Sometimes going the natural way, you know, like going around the 3 rails, you're kind of just helping the cue ball along. I think sometimes pool likes it when you do that. Ooh. Wow, what a big swing that was. From 8-3 to 7-4. It's got to be with something with getting ahead a few games in this tournament, because not only this variation, but the previous couple of tournaments, anytime a team gets ahead, it seems like the other team always finds a way to get back in it. You just don't see anybody kind of run away with it from anybody. That might have been a chance there where being up 8-3, they could have been looking at just running away with that.
During the day or most times
So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I see a bunch of you are viewing. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on your browser or on the app. And we appreciate the support. Thanks for tuning in. Race to 11 tonight, BCA rules. Jamie and Matt versus Tim and Eric, as you see on your screen. Tim Tunjum at the table. Good cue ball. Got a ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 balls past the side pocket. Hit him a little bit better next time. Jesus. Man, oh man. I wish I could break like these guys do sometimes. They haven't always been making balls, but they just spread them so well. It's a weird looking table here. I kind of like, if you're going to take stripes, I kind of like taking the 14 right now. And bringing the cue ball even, I don't care where it goes actually. Because I'm probably going to get on my 9 at the lowest. So the reason I'm saying that is if I get to the right side of the 15, you see the 15 ball? If I get to the right side of that, I can make that in the upper left corner and go into the 10 ball and open up that ball. I don't want to shoot that 15 now because there's no other way to really get on that 12 ball. But if I shoot that 14 right now, actually the 5 might come off that rail and move that 15 anyways. I don't know. Getting this 12 ball out of there is not going to be easy though. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. I actually feel that solids have an advantage in this game. I'd be surprised if they don't win it. Now there is a forced follow shot here where you can go 1, 2, 3 rails and go into it, but you got to hit it good. Come down to the bottom rail, left lower side rail, up in between the 2 and the 8 to the upper end rail, into the 12 ball. But there's no guarantee. No matter how you come into that ball, there's no guarantee that that 12 is going to clear to be shot in that pocket anyways. With the 1 and the 4 there, you can still be tied up there. That's why if that 15 where it would have been really nice to shoot from the right side of it, and then you could really come into it hard with the cue ball. Because no matter how you break that 12 ball, you're going to have to come into it pretty firm. Because it's going to hit the 7 pretty square. It ain't going to move much off that. You're almost going to have to double or triple. He might try my follow shot. He is. 1, 2, 3 rails. What? Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. And he tied up the 14. That was the shot, though. That was the exact shot. He's got to stroke that a little bit more, obviously, and the cue ball goes up to the upper end row and bumps into the 12. Man, he almost hit that so good. He had to have a lot more on that cue ball, though, but that was the shot. Now, Eric, on the other hand, a couple safeties available, or you could load up with some outside English on this 9 ball and go 2 rails up into the 14. Maybe even get lucky and catch the outside edge of the 14, and then you go up into the 12. But that shot is there. Taking the 9 in the lower right corner pocket, hit a lot of outside English on that ball, so you go over to about the second diamond on the left side rail and go up right at that 14 ball. Because no matter what you do here, I don't think you're going to like the outcome. Well, it's the start. So Sean Holmes in the house. But I don't think you're going to break the stripe off by the 5 there. I don't think you're going to move that. Not without fouling. Maybe they know something I don't, though. No, he does have an angle at it. He can bump it. Wow, look at that. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed that they're going to get out of this wreck. Absolutely amazed. But it just shows that I learned something, too.
What's up, Marky Mark?
Jerry Johnson in the house.
I'm gonna have my pizza first.
So 7-4, and looks like Tim and Eric are going to pick up another game here. Wow, what an out! I would have never guessed that they're going to get out up there. Man, oh man, that was something special. Wow, great out. Great out. As I stated, I for sure thought Solids had such a huge advantage in that game that I didn't see any way after that they were going to win that game, Stripes. But man, oh man, what a shot by Eric. You're a little bit fortunate, but you got to give it a shot at it, right? You got to try it. And got Tim on a good angle on that ball, and I didn't think he could even run into that. And he just made it look simple. Learning stuff too. Gotta love it. 7-5, race to 11. BCA rules. Scotch doubles at CR Sportsbar on a Monday night. Friday night, I believe there's a couple of matches scheduled, and then 21st, I believe there's a match scheduled as well. But we got Tim Tundrum at the table now, 7-5. A couple minutes ago, they were looking at being down 8-3. Yeah, Jerry, a couple minutes ago, it was almost going to be 8-3, and they're right back in it.
I'm used to it on my other side. What's going on? Like I'm in my plane.
I know,
You're on
good.
air now, so
All right.
welcome to the stream, Jerry.
Well, thanks for commentating last Friday and tonight, Mark. We got some more action coming up too this Friday, and
Yep.
the Friday's coming up. But
Is there 2 matches on Friday, you said?
one match.
One match,
and
okay,
2
one
the next
match.
Friday.
Okay.
All right, low 7-5. I just got back in town. I was watching a little bit, and then I went back. Hank's in the kitchen, so he went back, and I had to make me pizza. And damn, that looks good. I'm going to have that in about 2 seconds.
He looks like he's a master pizza chef already, because if he put that together, that looks really
He
good.
made my pizza. It looks good. What do you got here? How's things looking? It was 4-0 at one point.
Yeah, it was 4-0, and they actually had a chance to go up 8-3. Jamie and Matt did. Jamie missed the 8 ball,
Oh.
and I might have gave him that commentator curse, but yeah, he missed the 8 ball, and all of a sudden, instead of 8-3 and then breaking, now it's 7-5, and
Wow.
Tim and Eric can pick up this game here too.
Well,
Looks
you know what you and I always say. I mean, someone jumps out front, and the other team storms back. It
Isn't
happens
it?
every match,
Yeah,
almost.
it happens so often. It's kind of crazy.
And then that would be replay right here.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
that
the
because
ISO.
you hit
Okay.
that, and then you just got to click that, and then you can click on it down here.
Okay.
Okay. That's a big game right here. I mean, they're battling back.
I'm surprised Tim didn't roll forward and get on the 12 to the low right corner pocket. He had a. Then he just shoot the 14, get on the 10. This should work though. Oh, that'll really work. Wow,
14, pretty good right there.
How's that? Okay.
Now can he roll forward and use that 5 as a blocker and roll down for that 10 down there?
I think he might go down for the 10 right from here.
Yeah, either way, he could.
I kind of like getting on the 10 and then using the
There you
12
go.
to get on the 8.
Nice shot. All right. How about Fed or Gorst?
Man, isn't that something? Wow.
So I was down there in Florida, and all of a sudden, you know, it dawned on me that match was going on. And so I got on my DAZN account, and I got on, and it was there was 2 games left of the finals. I got to watch it. You know.
Yeah,
You go back and rewatch
Kachi had
it.
that tough scratch on that game too.
Oh.
That was heartbreaker. As soon as you see that ball rolling, it's like that thing's gonna scratch. It just had that path to it. And man, that's
Look at this
second
here.
place paid pretty good over there too, though.
Yeah, paid $100,000.
Yeah.
Now remember, Federer won his very first bar table tournament he ever played, and was here at CR's.
I'll be dang.
So Jason Sword brought him over from Russia. His very first bar table tournament was that 10-ball tournament. He won the tournament here.
Yep.
And but he always gets a big grin when he sees me, and he's just happy. You know. So I sent him a text message, congratulations, champ. You know, world champion. I mean, I sent him a nice little thing.
Yep.
He sends back a big thank you, Jerry, with a big exclamation points all over. He was just, he
That's
was
awesome.
elated,
Good
you
for
know.
him.
Yeah.
That's
Nice kid, too. But
Yeah.
man, what a score that is.
250,000.
Man. 7-6, breaking, going to 11, baby. Man. I know little Joe was watching earlier. I think he's still watching, Mark.
Now, wasn't that the richest purse in pool?
You know,
Or wasn't there that $1 million challenge or something?
no. There was someone had mentioned that Efren won $500,000 in one of them IPA tournaments. I don't know if he got paid, or I don't know what the deal was.
Was
So
it
I'm
dollars or was it
$500,000 dollars.
Pinos, or what do they call them?
I don't know. Someone said he won $500,000, but as far as it was either that or obviously this one for $250,000.
Yeah.
So
Because what was that $1 million one? Was that when Earl ran out
he ran
11 racks or
11
something in a
racks
row, or-
from the break. However, there wasn't. You know how they do hole-in-ones where there's insurance involved?
Yeah.
Like a $10,000 hole-in-one. Apparently there was someone botched something on that, and they had to have cameras and this and that. But I mean, no one ever thought it would happen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
leave it to Earl to do it. So that's what happened there.
Yeah, there wasn't a legal struggle almost too, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
there
Where
was.
he had to,
I think he got paid, Mark, but not the full $1 million. I believe.
I imagine
CJ
the lawyers
done
might have
something.
got their hands on
Yeah.
some of it at that point.
Something
But
happened, but hey, I'm gonna back out of here for 1 second. Have
Alrighty.
a couple
Enjoy
pieces
that
of
pizza.
All right.
so 7-6, race to 11. Eric and Tim right back in it. It's anybody's match again. You know, a 4-game lead, 5-game lead in this event has been proven that it doesn't really mean anything. It's weird how these matches go, though. More often and often you see it where a team gets ahead by 3-4 games, and then the other team picks right up a couple, and just goes back and forth like that. You just don't see it where it's like 11-1 or 11-2 or anything. A little bit of work to do here, though. I mean, the out is there, but you got to get precise on a couple of balls. You got to kind of get precise on the 6 and the 4. Because you got to get an angle on the 6 where you're not going to bump into anything. And then you can get on the 3, of course. 3 gets you on the 8. But you got to get an angle on the 4 that is... Oh, now what do you do? I think I take a risk here and I shoot the 1, and I leave myself an angle on the 6 so that I bump the cue ball into the 8. And then the 8 comes into the bottom rail and goes right into the 3, and then the cue ball will come off the bottom rail and leave me the 3. You have to have where the cue ball is right now, a little bit to the right, almost like if you drew a straight line up from the spot. Somewhere right in there off the 1 ball. So off the 1, I think I'd draw back maybe an inch or 2. But you've got to get a perfect kind of an angle if you're going to move that 8. Otherwise, it can tie up the 3 obviously very easy, and it's really kind of a dicey situation. Oh, he missed it though. Now the 8 will go to the lower left corner pocket too, so for your stripes you don't have to move. You don't have to move them. Yeah, the 8 will go. The 10 ball, there, is that the 10 ball or the 12? Just to the right of the spot right there. It's 12 ball. That'll be one that's a little bit dicey to get to. Because I want to leave that 13 ball to get on the 8. Although the 10 will get you there too. The 12, I mean, so the 12 will get you there too, but 13 would be ideal for that. Now, Jamie could draw off this 15 over the right side rail, come off that rail, and then shape the 12 to the left side pocket too. Looks like he's going to try to get on it right here, I think. Well, I think he's going to have to take that 13. Unless he's comfortable shooting at that 12. I can't see how much of that 12 he's actually obstructed by the 6 ball. If he can get most of this cue ball, then I would shoot that 12 absolutely. If I might miss that ball because of shooting around that 6 ball, then I'm gonna jump ship and do the 13. Looks like he has a lot of the cue ball though. Yeah, he's shooting that ball on the side. And I would love, pattern-wise, to not have to move that 13. And I want to leave that ball. Oh, he's got plenty of cue ball. Just got to be careful you don't float up there too far. If you had an angle, you could even go all the way up to the 9 ball. So he actually didn't roll up enough, and Jamie's going to be... Boy, this is a tough situation here now because the 10 and the 9 don't go to the right corner pocket. They do obviously go to the left corner pocket. He can't get there off that 15, though, unless he force follows, goes into the left side rails, and then runs into those balls, or if he misses them, he'll be able to shoot them in the corner pocket, upper left corner. But I don't like that route either. And Matt shot that ball pretty good, but Jamie would love to have the cue ball up table a couple of inches. He's going to follow through. Kind of thought he would. Then get on this side of him right there. Nicely done. Beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. If he runs into them, he's going to have either one of those balls to that upper corner pocket. So there wasn't a whole lot of risk in that. And when he hit it that good, there was like zero risk. Hit that ball perfect. That was a good shot, Mr. Pluta. So 9 to the 10. 10 to the 14, 14 to the 13, 13 to the 8. So Matt will be the one shaping the 13, which, depending on where Jamie gets him, is going to be kind of a dicey shot, especially from there. Now, if Matt can kill the cue ball, roll over to the left side rail, right about where that chalk is, and just have the cue ball just gently come off that rail, everything will be good. This is going to take a lot of touch, because you have to be left of that 4 ball on the 13 to get on the 8. He might even go around 3. He might be going around 3 rails. I don't encourage it, but that might be his better route. Going around 3 rails with that cue ball, though, is asking a lot, and I don't like shooting this ball at all. because to get from the 14 back down on that 8 ball is going to be tough. But we're going to find out. Well, that turned out pretty good. Jamie does have a kind of a tester here on the 14, but it will lead him to the 8. It's kind of a natural shape to get on the 8 ball. That could have turned out a lot worse, but you make the ball, you're on the 8. And he missed it. Another ball that was kind of surprising he'd miss. Now, it wasn't easy by any means, don't get me wrong. These pockets are tight, and it's kind of an off angle, but still something to expect Pluto to make and come through on. That's a tough shot, though. That is not an easy ball that he had. And this isn't necessarily an easy out here for these guys either. Unless the one does go, though. So maybe it was tucked under the 6 a little bit where it wouldn't be pocketable, but there's another game here where Jamie and Matt had the opportunity to have the win, but instead they put a bow tie on it and wrapped it up and said, Merry Christmas. Here's the game for you. Now we're at 7-7. Early in the match, when given the opportunity, Eric and Tim didn't necessarily capitalize on every opportunity, but recency bias would show that they are capitalizing on every opportunity given to them. And now we're at a race to 4. Race to 4 or Jerry's Pizza? What will finish first? I would say Jerry's Pizza, as there's napkins sitting in the middle of the tray. You look like you're mad at that pizza. 7-7, race to 11. As always, another good match here at CR's on the live stream for the Scotch doubles events. Probably one of the most popular events for our viewers out there. If we get some of these big horses start throwing down a couple thousand in challenge matches, that might change, but don't really see that happening in the near future. For a while there was challenge matches, though, $500 challenge matches, $1,000 challenge matches. But it's not like the old days where there was action everywhere. You just don't see the big dogs anymore kind of throw down a couple thousand and go at it anymore. It just doesn't happen here. So Tim back at the table, ready to go. I think Mr. Matt took a quick bio break. See what Tim does on this break here. Been planting that cue ball pretty good. Once again, drifted over the side rail, but he got it right up towards mid-table, and they're on a ball. Look at this here. Look at these stripes. Oh, my goodness. Just a road map right here. 15, 13, 9, 14, 10, 11, 8. 15, 13, 9, 14. 15, 13, 9. Don't roll forward too far, though. Careful. There we go. 15, 13, 9, 14, 12, 11, 8. 8-7. This will be the first lead of the match. We're on the 15th game, and this will be the first that Tim and Eric have been ahead. Really surprised here if this doesn't. 13, stop and draw back just a hair. Just like that. Take the 9 to the side, roll forward, 14 upper corner. And if I've mispronounced the name of that ball in the lower left corner there, I apologize, but I do believe that is the 12. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Wrong side of that ball. Tim either has to, yeah, I think I would go plan B, but Tim feels like he's going to hold this ball or go across to the side rail and come back across. Or draw into the 4 even. Oh, look at that shot. God, that's good touch. That is a lot of touch in that ball to be able to hold the cue ball like that. That is a that's not as simple as he made that look. That was pretty good. That was a sporty shot there, Mr. Tim Tunstrom. That was good. It's very easy to have that cue ball drift away from you on the shot like he did. But you can see Tim is a lot more energetic right now than he was about an hour ago. A little bit more spring to his step. Can't blame him. They go from down possibly 8-3 up 8-7. You hear about the brass ring, and these two are reaching for it right now. They're grabbing it. Shot, Eric. 8-7, race to 11. BCA rules at CR Sportsbar in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate the support. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe on your browser or the app if you're using the YouTube app. Keep you up to date, and we get that viewership up and the subscriber numbers up. Jerry's mentioned a few times about monetizing and being able to put money back into this from the monetizing of the YouTube channel. Eric playing the caddy part even. Had the break cue handy for Tim. Handoff. Look at they're energized. Eric's not even sitting down. He knows he's going to make a ball on the break. Look at that. Look at that positivity. I like that a lot. I like that energy. Look at Eric. He didn't even sit down. He's like, nah, Tim's going to make a ball. We're going to run out again. The 11 goes in the upper corner. Shoot the 9. Take the 11, run out. Shoot the 9, take the 11, and then run out. 9, 11, run out. Stop shot. Stop shot on the 9, Eric. Being Eric that listens on the stop shot. Stop shot. Stop. Stop. Beautiful. Low left on this. Avoid the 1 ball if possible and get the cue ball out on the table for the 13. Go 2 rails with this. Might end up grazing the 1 ball. I'd like to avoid it if possible. Eric might shoot this 12 down here. I like that over the 13. I like the 13 if the cue ball's out on the table more. Obviously, you're going to lose the look at the 15, but I like going from the 13 down to the 14 or the 10, and then going to the 15 from those 2 balls. I don't necessarily like going from the 12 to the 14 to the 10. That's my own personal preference, though. But the way the cue ball is, I'm definitely going 12 ball first here. If I could shoot that 13 where I could hold the cue ball coming off that rail better, then I'd love to go that route. But just make sure the cue ball doesn't come off that rail and then float too much to the side. That'll work. Good ball, good ball. Now, do you shape the 10 right now and then use that to get to the 13? Or do you use the 13 to get you on the 10? I wish I could pop a poll up on the chat right now and just see what people would say on that. Because I think if you shoot this ball right now, the 14, and slide up just up the table, right by, you see where the spot is? If you slide up right there, I'd shoot that stripe up in the upper right corner pocket. Careful, careful. Oh, that's kind of where you could have got with just a little bit of draw, but that works pretty good. That's pretty much a little bit to the right of there with the cue ball, maybe like an inch. That's pretty much where I was talking about going. Tim covered 5 foot of cloth to get there, which was more skill than I would have. That was pretty good. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, that'll work. Whew, that was close. Tim and Eric now could possibly run away with this match, meaning that they could run this out. Because they are a well-oiled machine right now. They are a well-oiled machine. They're, yep. Nine to 7, race to 11. Oh my goodness. What a turn of events. This literally about an hour ago was looking at an 8-3 lead for Jamie and Matt, and a couple of untimely misses have changed things dramatically. Wow. Hey, Ryan, I appreciate it, man. Ryan Harmson, thank you. And you're welcome, man. I hope you guys are entertained on these. I'm trying to keep the energy up and provide a good stream for you guys. So I do appreciate hearing those compliments. Thank you. Another good break. A solid cue ball was drifting to the upper corner, but got kissed and avoided the scratch. What an ugly looking table. But there is a way out here. Here's what you do. You take the stripe right by the 3 ball there. You cut it in the side pocket. You come down to the bottom rail with some bright English on the cue ball. You go right through where the spot is. You see the spot? You come down to the bottom rail. Cue ball goes over to the left rail about a diamond and a half up, and it goes right up into that 11 ball. And then you run out from there. Because you get anywhere on the left side of the table, you can take that stripe up in the upper left corner and you move your 9-10. If he can see that stripe to cut it in the right side pocket, he moves his 11 ball off that ball. The cue ball has a natural path to go down to the bottom rail, go to the left side rail, and go right into that 11 ball, and then lights out. If you're going to take solids, then the 3 ball is going to have to be used to break out the 1 ball. And you're going to see it right here. So you cut the 3 in the right side pocket, run the cue ball into the 10, and say a Hail Mary or two while the cue ball is rolling over there. Hope for the best. Weren't you just in North Carolina? Yeah. Man, you get around the country. Neil Skiva in the house, getting done with leagues. Just seen him posting the other day on Facebook. He was in North Carolina like 2 days ago. They do a lot. I wonder how many miles they put on every year on their bikes. Oh, missed it. Missed it, but cue ball went way down at the other end of the table. So this isn't a really good starting spot either. Oh. So it's 9-7. Some off air humor there. Sorry, folks. 9-7. Jamie Pluta at the table. Nothing pool related. Not in this match or game. It was Taylor and I were talking or something. But anyways, not stream friendly. So. All right, Jamie. Dig deep, buddy. Good shot. Didn't really get where you can break these balls out, but you know what I do? I shoot the stripe in. I kind of stop right there, and then I stop shot on the 9 ball, and I call a safety. So what I'm planning on doing is I make the stripe in the upper left corner. I get myself an angle so I can stop shot with the cue ball, 9 of the 10 clear. The cue ball sits right on top of the 1 ball there. And I don't hit it so hard the 9 and 10 go 3, 4, 5 rails around the table. Just enough because I want the 10 to end up over by the corner pocket so that Solace doesn't have a safety that they can come back on me because I've got a ball sitting right up there in the hole. So you shoot this ball in, stop shot on the 9, just move the 10 over, open up the 9, and put the cue ball right on top of the 1 ball. From where that would be, the only shot they'd have would be the 7 ball. And I would let people shoot that ball all day. Cue ball frozen on top of the 1, shooting at the 7. That's one way to do it.
I'm just working on some new tournaments today. So you know how people don't have all their cards. So once a month starting.
It's like Matt's gonna make this ball and then try to move the 11. Good shot. And this is going to give Jamie, wow, what a shot. This is going to give Jamie the chance to slide the cue ball to the left of the, what is that, the 4 ball there? And give a really good angle to break out the 9-10 by back cutting the stripe in the upper left corner. Man, that was a great shot, Matt. Holy cow, that was a good shot. He's got a perfect angle on this ball. Just slide up a little bit, get to the left side of the 4. Nine, 7, they're fighting for their lives and they're putting up a good one. Slide to the left of the 4. Not very much up past the 4 though. Just like right there. Now you hit with some right English and low right, so you run into the 9 ball, and then the cue ball will follow through and bump the 9 ball again. So you hit into the 9 ball with the cue ball, and then the cue ball will roll through the 9 ball and bump it again. You can do it that way, or you can hit it really hard and just spread them, but then you're running the risk of stuff getting tied back up. A lot of right English. Outside right. That's a really good shot. That's a better result than I was looking at. That was really good. So now the stripe will put him on the 9, and then that 9 will put him on the 13. 13 puts him on the 8. Oh, miscued. Did he miscue or he just missed that? It had to have been a miscue. Oh my gosh. I've seen some things happen for Jamie that are just heartbreaking, man. We've all had it happen too. You know, we've all had things like that happen in pool games, and you know, it's part of it. It's when they come in multiples, that's when it really makes it difficult for us. And I would not like to, regardless of how this turns out, I would not like to be facing Jamie in his next match. Because I've seen the wrath of Pluta at the table before, and they still have time in this one. There's still opportunities here, but I would not want to face him in anything. Because I could see him playing flawless after a few hiccups here tonight. Missed a couple of key balls, and then that miscue right there was possibly the match. So this will put Tim and Eric on the hill here. Good shot, good shot. And you run the risk on that too. I know the type of shot that Jamie was trying. I mean, you kind of, if you remember back a couple of games when Tim shot a stripe up in the upper left corner and he held that cue ball, and I said, that was not as easy as he made it look. That type of shot is what Jamie was trying to do on his ball, and then he just ended up miscuing. I mean, you're putting like a low outside kind of a touch on it, where you just kind of throw it, and you're trying to hold the cue ball, and it's really prone to miscues in those situations. I mean, Tim could have miscued on that, and Jamie's just proving to be very costly. As now Eric and Tim are on the hill, and they got a ball on the break. 9 balls tied up, 10 balls tied up. Solids are very workable though. I shoot this 1 and try to get over the left side of the table, hopefully getting on the 5 ball first. 5 or the 6, either one of those. I'd prefer to get on the 5. So if I can get the 5, I can bump the 2, and then I can come back for the 6, run into the 3, run into the 7. Solids is runnable here though. Eric and Tim have an opportunity to shut this match down right now. And Matt and Jamie might be heading south on 35 here. Good shot, Eric. Nice. Look at that. Look at that position on the 5 ball if he wants right now. The 2 goes in the side pretty easy though. I take back. If the 2 goes really easy in the side, you don't really need to do the 5 first. If you're going to do the 5 first now, I roll down below the 6 and shoot the 6 up in the upper left corner. And then I don't have to touch the 2. Apparently that 2 does go pretty easy in the side though, so they haven't even looked at that ball.
I turn around, it's 10-7, Mark. What's going on?
10-7, yeah. It was 9-7, and Jamie and Matt were running, and Jamie had an unfortunate miscue.
Oh, no.
And Tim and Eric capitalized on that, and now they're on the hill.
Wow, were they down 7-3 at one point?
They were down 7-3 at one point, yeah, and that's Jamie missed an 8 ball to go up 8-3.
Wow.
And it changed everything.
Okay, I'll sign him up right now, buddy.
A couple of misses like that.
Yep.
And that miscue was one of the most costly mistakes that happened. Now Jamie and or Tim and Eric here can finish this up.
Well, they got the list over here. Oh, the 2, they can sneak that 2 in the side, it looks like, huh?
Yep. 2 in the side. I try not to hold it for the 5. I play for the 4 and then come back for the 5. Go back above the stripe in the 8 ball. So it's hit some right English on the 2, cut it in, bring the cue ball maybe right where it is, kind of in that area. Shoot the 4 and go up table and then get on the 5 ball. And then 5 and then the 8 in the right side.
You could cut that 2 in the side and come out and nudge that 5.
Yeah. Well, the thing I don't like about that is, let's say you nudge it and you have to back cut the 5 then. Then if you shoot the 4, you're running away from the 5 too much, I think.
He's looking like it's kind of tight here. Yeah, he don't like it.
Yeah, he don't like it. Tim had the option to take the 5 or the 6 earlier. I felt that Tim should have took the 5, but he obviously felt that the 2 was makeable.
When they're that close, it's, look at this shot. Oh, no.
Oh,
Did that combo line straight
I
up?
guess it's sometimes the stars just line up. and,
Wow. Wait a minute here.
no matter what, if Tim makes this ball, no matter what, Eric's on that 5 either in the side in the corner, and this should be wrapped up right here. Because Tim will have to hit this hard enough to where the cue ball will come out and give him a good look at the 5. Pick your pocket.
These combos are tough.
Yeah, it's not a gimme. That's for sure. But I'd rather shoot this on a diamond than on a valley. Yeah, from 7-3 to possibly 11-7. Probably 11-7 actually. I like Tim's chance to make this here. I think Eric will have the 5 in the side next. So I think the cue ball is going to come off there.
Yeah, because the 5's gonna is gonna go up table a little bit, but the cue ball's gonna come off.
Yeah,
You
cue ball's going to
you
come
can
off.
play
a
it in
little
the
bit.
side or that upper left corner.
Yep. I'd love to get it in the corner. Then I can just stop or draw back for the 8. If you get in the side, you might end up having to go up table and come back.
That shot's tougher than it looks.
Yeah, Ted went over and looked at it. He said it's
Yeah.
tougher than it looks.
So I think the 5 is going to come out a little bit from this.
Wow.
Oh man, how do you hit that ball? But I'd like to get a little
He's
bit. better.
good. Yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah,
good.
that 5's good. This is pretty simple here.
Well, I don't know.
I would have liked to have the cue ball on the spot. Having a full shooting over the 9 doesn't help here, does it? But here's the thing, though: is if Eric shoots this and comes off there kind of hot with the cue ball, the 8 does go up in the upper right corner pocket. So he does have 2 pockets he's playing for on this. And he made it look easy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was easier than we
Beautiful.
thought it was.
Yep.
What a comeback.
And from down 7-3, miss an 8 ball to go up 8-3 to lose 11-7.
Wow.
Like I mentioned, I would not want to play Jamie in his next match. Matt played really good too. I thought Matt played really well. But,
Wow.
that'll finish the match, everybody. 11-7. Tim and Eric victorious.
Mark, thanks for commentating.
No problem,
and,
Jerry.
We have another match this Friday. We have Jed Lampy and Caleb Schumacher, and they play Scott Leffering and Mark Klein.
That's a first round match, right?
Yep, it is. And then we got 2 matches following Friday. But anyway, thanks for tuning in,
Yeah.
everybody. Hope you had a good time. Support our sponsors. And Mark, thanks again for commentating.
You're welcome. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night out there.
Have a good night. Yep, bye-bye.